Hi.
Hi, everybody. Let us know if you can see us and hear us.
Welcome to the Knits and Pieces Tuesday night knit chat. I'm Kelly, and this is my friend Noelle, and we are a mostly knitting but a multi-crafting podcast. And on Tuesday nights, we go off the rails and just get together with all of you and spend a little bit of time knitting and catching up. And
we pretend to knit.
We pretend to knit. We have our knitting, and
do have been knitting.
We don't always get a lot of knitting done, but we have a lot of laughs, and we sure enjoy catching up with all of you. So I'll let you do some hellos, Noelle.
Yeah, well, if I go all the way back, I thought, wow, you guys are in here early. Barb, hi Barb, Mary, Elaine, see Carolyn, Monty, Catherine, Tracy, Janie. Okay, I know that someone asked this, and Cranky Witch, so we want to know what your real name is.
Who is that?
Is it Cranky Witch?
Oh.
Someone underneath said, hi, Cranky.
Hi, Cranky, yes.
So who else is here? We've got Ewa, Julia.
Julia's back from vacation. Welcome back.
Susan. Oh, it's Beth. Cranky Witch is Beth. We will remember that now. Yes.
We talked about making little cheat sheet cards and sticking up on our monitors. For those of you that go by names or use your podcast name, and if we're having a hard time remembering names. So forgive us if we do. We're just happy everybody's here.
Just remind us again. So anyway, so Cranky Witch is Beth.
Beth.
And I see Emily's here, Jan, Karen, Heather. Wow, Kim. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Trudy, Catherine, Amanda, Linda, Bonnie, Wendy, Rosemary, Nicole.
Mary's Sarah, waving.
And Lynn. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mary. Your sweater looked beautiful.
It did. It did.
So, yay, Shifty.
Why don't we talk about that first? Today is August the 31st, everybody. And that means it's the end of our 3-month shift happens.
Yeah,
but
so we hope
you still have until midnight.
You all got your shift together.
Hope you got your shift together. And yes, this is still up on Instagram. This hashtag down below, still up on Instagram. So you can still enter. Noelle, do you want to talk about those details?
Okay. about the shift.
Yeah, it ends at midnight tonight.
It ends at midnight, but okay, realistically, I don't know about you, Kelly, but I'm not going to be up at midnight to close it, but I probably will be up at 5.
I'll be up at midnight.
Okay. Anyway, so it goes till midnight tonight, and just get your finished objects in there. It can be any Shifty project. There's some beautiful projects in there. So even if you haven't had time to do one now, there's lots of inspiration there for what you might want to do in the future. Like, you know, we have a shawl knit along tomorrow. So if you didn't do your night shift shawl now, you could actually do it for the shawl, Cal.
Fall for shawl.
The fall for shawl.
Yes.
So,
and that starts.
Oh, Kim said it's already the 1st of September there.
But it's on our time, Kim. So it's midnight Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Yep.
So
Elizabeth finished her night shift. Yay.
Yay.
I know. Anybody that did the shawl, isn't it like the best shawl ever? Like, it's so cozy and so, I don't know, and it's actually getting to be weather where you actually might be able to wear it soon. At least here.
Someone else today, and I commented on it on Instagram, and I'm sorry that I'm name overwhelmed now, so I'm not sure who did it, but somebody else did a neutral one, I think in the same colors that Jacqueline used.
Oh yeah, yes, I saw that. Gorgeous.
It's so pretty, and now I want one of those because it would be the perfect neutral. It would go with everything. But
Kelly, did you finish yours?
I was really hoping you wouldn't ask.
You knew I was gonna ask.
I know. No, I didn't finish it. I'm so close. I have a section.
You have till midnight.
Well, I don't think I can finish it by tonight, but
I'm not going to be up till 5.
Yeah, okay. If I didn't have to work tomorrow, I would stay up until it were done. But I do have to work tomorrow, so it's not going to be done tonight. Mary said that she wore her Shifty home last night from a friend's house. Oh,
Wow.
it's so pretty, Mary. It's so pretty. I bet you got so many beautiful compliments on it too.
Well, Elizabeth says in North Carolina, it's still 94. Actually, I don't know about you. Is it still warm? Like we're getting a beautiful breeze off the water tonight, and it's actually cooled down to I think it's under 20.
Okay, so I'm in my basement with no windows.
Okay. Well, I have my
cool
windows
down here.
open. I have my windows
breezy.
open, and I think this is the first time I've had a sweater on, I think since I was visiting Tracy up north in Muskoka. I don't think I've had a sweater on since then. So anyway, so what are you working on, Kelly?
I'm working on oh, there it is. Sorry. I lost track of where my banner was. I couldn't remember how to shut it off. There we go. Okay. I'm working on a sock. I don't think I can mess this one up. And I shouldn't say I can't, because I certainly can. But so I've got two bright colors, and these came from, I just got a notification to watch us live. We're live now, it says. These are from Full Moon Fibers, and this is,
Ooh, they are bright.
They're very bright. So this is as cold as it gets and as fresh as it gets, I think. And so I'm doing like the 2 rows for a stripe, 2 rows for a stripe. Now, it doesn't show up as well to me. To me, it kind of looks muted, but now that I'm looking at it on screen, I can see the stripes in it.
Yeah.
But
yep,
it's bright. It's bright. You could wear these at night, and I think they would glow. It's like earthworm green, glowy green, but I really like it. I like the bright colors. So I'm doing a method though. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't think I'm doing it wrong, but to do a jogless join, what's everybody's method for that on a jogless join? Because what I'm doing is, so for row 1, I just start knitting with my new color. And for row 2, I go back and I insert my right needle into the stitch below where the jog is. I pop that up onto my left needle, and then I knit those 2 together. But what that's actually doing, although I'm getting a jogless join, I'm basically getting a slip stitch row all the way down my knitting.
Yeah.
And that's not coming in.
That's not what I do.
It's not my intended. I can't get that to focus. It's not my intended. You can see it right there. Right there.
Yep.
Okay. So what do you do? Because maybe I want to do your method instead.
When I get to where I'm going to start the new color, okay, I slip the last stitch. Now Kelly's not going to hear, but I'll tell you anyway. I slip the last stitch. Now let me think again. Yeah, I slipped the last stitch, which I've knit in the old color, and I re-knit it in the new color. And then when you come around, you've knit that stitch twice, but when you come around again, then I pick up the underneath stitch with the stitch in the new color and knit them both together, and then go around the whole row. And that, you might see a little tiny bit, but for me, that's what works best when I'm putting in a new color. You're right, Julia. If it was a 1x1 stripe, I do helical, where you just go, but I'm not sure that would work with a 2-row stripe. Like it'll work with the 1 row because you're going to drop and pick up. So your beginning of round constantly moves. But when you're doing a 2-row stripe, I'm not sure whether that would work with the 2-row stripe. So Nicole, you said you do the same as Kelly, and I used to do that. And this new one that I'm doing now, I forget who it was. I think it's Helene Magnuson, and it's a tutorial on, if you go into her website, there's a tutorial on there, and it shows how she does it. Now I just explained it, Kelly, and you probably didn't
and I
hear
missed it. So it's going to be one of those nights. I can feel it.
So anyway,
okay, whose tutorial am I going to watch? I caught that part.
Helene Magnuson. That's who I use. Yes. And it's when you get to the end of the first row, when you get to the end of the old color, then you knit the last stitch. After you've knitted in the old color, you knit it again. You put it back on the needle and knit it again in the new color. Then you go around, and when you get to the end of that row, you pick up the underneath stitch and knit it with the stitch on the needle.
Okay.
But go to Helene Magnuson.
Okay. All right. There's
So,
some other methods in there.
yes, Rox. I mean, that was just who I happened to find. But yeah, there's always like Roxanne Richardson always has really good tutorials. Patty Lyon, so does Very Pink Knits. So, but I've done the one that you did before, and you're right. You get a slip stitch then down the back. Which
and Sarah is saying that she's done it the same way, but it works better with thicker stripes. And yes, I totally agree that would, because then I wouldn't be slipping like every other row.
Every row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to try a different method. These socks are for me anyway. So.
Okay. Did anybody work on DK socks?
Besides Noelle?
For them now. I'll show
okay.
you
No,
mine.
here's a better question. Did anybody else already have a sock knit by, let me see, it's Tuesday night. Did somebody else already have a sock knit by Thursday morning like Noelle did? Maybe we should ask that.
Hold them up to the camera, which I can never find. You think, how long have we been doing this now? You'd think I'd know where the camera was, but I don't. Anyways, there they are. They are so fast to knit. So fast. The pattern that I used was the sock lady. What is it? The crazy sock lady.
Crazy sock lady.
Yeah, she has a free pattern. All I used her for though really was the stitch count.
Yes.
So normally for myself, for a regular fingering weight sock, I would use 60 stitches, but for the DK yarn, I used 40 stitches. So there, that's faster to start
20
with.
stitches faster to get around a row.
20 stitches faster to get around a row. And these ones they're not, I could have actually done them longer, but I didn't. But I did 10 rows of knit, 2 purl, 2 rib. And then I think there's like.
You should also mention that that's not DK yarn.
No, oh, sorry. Yes, this is not DK yarn. This is Lion brand Mani Petty. And this is a fingering weight yarn, and I held it double. But I was able to use 2 skeins and match up the stripes.
Which I was so shocked at. I was shocked that you could do that. That's great.
So so I had, because they come in 50-gram skeins. So I pulled from both skeins and just matched up the stripes. Now I would say that this yarn, when you hold it double, would be a little bit thicker than what I consider, than what I consider DK weight yarn. I did these on a 3.25 millimeter needle. They fit perfectly. I did her pattern has, I believe, a short row heel, but I did the shadow wrap heel. Now, the only thing when you're doing that, it gets pretty thick when you've got those twin and triple stitches. So what I did was, once I did the first part with all the twin stitches, I actually knit across.
Okay.
Right. So you knit all those twin stitches and then knit back to the beginning of the round. So again, you knit all those twin stitches. And then I went and started the twin stitches again for the other part of the heel. So what that does is it gives you've got a little gap then between, so you have a little gap kind of between where your heel is and when you join it back up to the foot. But what I did there was I just picked up an extra stitch when I came around, when I was going back to knitting in the round. I picked up an extra stitch on each side where I'd gone back and forth. And then on the next round, I just decreased that stitch.
Okay. Yep.
And so I found that worked, because I thought knitting the triple stitches would have made it too thick. So to avoid making triple stitches, I just did the row across and back.
Yep.
So
that works.
Yeah. And super fast. I'm going to try some more. I would not say, I think they'll be great socks like inside my boots, but I would not say that DK socks will replace my regular fingering weight socks.
No.
Like I like the feel of fingering weight socks better. So now Barb says she does 72 and wondering what she would do for DK. This pattern, Barb, I think it was 42, 48, and 56. So probably if I was doing it for the guys, and I usually do a 72 for the guys, I'd probably do the 56.
Do you think you'd go all the way?
Do I think I would go all the way to 56?
Or to the 48?
But see, I do 60 stitches, but my 60 stitches, remember, my 64 stitches is like your 60 stitches.
Right.
So
okay.
Probably because if I was doing a 64, I'd probably go to the 48, or I might just do 44. Because it doesn't have to be right. I think she maybe does that so that she's got a particular number of stitches when she goes to do the heel flap.
Okay.
But since I didn't do a heel flap, it didn't matter. So anyway, okay, I take my sweater off now. Now it's hot.
Did you talk about what you're wearing?
No, this is, I'll just
Don't take it off yet.
stand up quickly. I think I've had this on before though. This is the Whip It cardigan by Ankastrick, and it's a really neat cardigan. This is the very first one I ever did where it's set in sleeves, but you do it all in one. So it's not a rounded yoke. It's not the raglan. It's actually a set in, and the construction is really, really neat. So I would definitely recommend doing that pattern, and in fact, I think I might do another one because it's got a really cool pattern in it. But because this yarn is tweed,
yes,
like you can see it there, it kind of gets lost a little bit.
A little bit lost, yeah.
Okay, now I have to take it off.
Now you have to take it off. Okay. Yay.
Who knows? I might have to put it on again later. So.
Marianne said she did not get a sock done, but she got a baby flax done in 3 days.
That's good.
That's pretty good. And she did that around work.
Let's remember, I don't work.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. You know what time I got to sit down last night to start knitting? 10:20 at night. Yeah. So what? I got an hour and 15 minutes in, and that's it. So, and that's a little bit par for the course. I can sometimes try to get a little bit more knitting done on the weekends, but that's about what I can get in a day. So if you're ever wondering why Noelle knits so much more than me, she does. She has more time to knit. And if I don't get a little bit of knitting in every day, though, I get cranky. I turn into a cranky witch or a cranky something if I don't get a little bit of knitting in. I tell Mike, I have to knit. I have to knit a little bit. You have to have something every day, I think, that's just for you. That's not somebody else, that nobody's pulling you in a direction. You've just got to do something for yourself a little bit every day.
Yep. I'm just looking at some more of these comments. I do think if you've not knit socks and you're getting into knitting socks, DK socks would be a good way to start out.
I think so too, because it would go a little bit quicker. People think, a sock is a small project, and people think it's really fast to knit. And there's a significant number of hours in a sock, to be honest. There really is.
Especially depending on what size you're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like these.
Yeah, like those. Those are a little bit bigger.
Like those are, my sons are all probably a 10, 11. So it's always 72 stitches, but it's not even just the number of stitches. You're knitting a longer leg, you're knitting a longer foot. So, when you look at that in the terms of the number of stitches you're knitting, that's a lot more knitting. Now, I don't know that I could convince them that DK weight socks were better, because I think they all like the way the
fingering weight
fit in the shoes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karen says she doesn't knit socks, but she's knitting a scarf out of Noro's silk garden. I know, Noro, when you knit with Noro, it's so nice, because that's what a lot of our shift shawls were in. It's so nice to see the new colors emerging as you knit in it. So yeah. And I think, you know what, nobody, like, you shouldn't let anybody tell you what you should knit. You should knit what you want to knit.
I know. Well, I specifically, instead of working on the shawl the other night, like I should have, I cast this on and I just did the cuff. Boy, that's bright on my screen. It is bright, but I don't think it's this bright. Yeah. So I knit just the cuff the other night. And I thought that way I'll have something to work on down here for KnitChat that hopefully I can't mess up, because the last time I worked on my shawl and I knit a row and a quarter, and then I picked out a row because I got lost again. Well, I have a hard time talking and knitting and reading.
Well,
comments.
No, it's not talking and knitting. It's talking and reading.
And reading.
We go to a coffee shop and we knit and talk.
True.
So.
True. Well, we don't go to a coffee shop.
Well, we don't anymore, but we did.
We don't. We
did used to be able, and I mean, we can sit and talk to each other on Zoom and knit.
Yes, we can.
It's just reading. But that's okay, because it's fun to read them all.
Kathy said that Noelle is faster than the speed of lightning.
Well, I don't know about that.
Exactly. Mary doesn't work outside of the house, but she's very busy with her garden. And yes, Mary, every day I'm checking what you're bringing in from the garden and what you're making with it. And I didn't put a garden in this year, So I thought that would give me a little bit more spare time, and I don't know where the spare time went, but I did plant. I've got some herbs to harvest. I dry herbs for winter, and I really wanted to get to that on Sunday, and I didn't. So.
Oh, hi, Linda. She says she's been busy preparing for the remains of Ida. I know, that was horrible. That just.
Well, I'm impressed, Linda, if you're in the middle of that storm that you still have internet. I have no storm, and half the time my internet's not working. But batten down the hatches.
Well, she said she's preparing for it, so I wonder if it's whatever the path it's taken now, where it's going. Because I think even Eastern Canada is kind of going to get some of the tail end of it.
Ewa says there's as many stitches in a pair of fingering weight socks as an average sweater. Do you think that's a lot of stitches?
Well, it depends. If you looked at it, in a worsted weight sweater. In a worsted weight sweater.
Yeah. So I finished my sweater too. That was something else I finished this weekend.
I saw it blocking.
It's blocking.
Not really. I saw it on. I saw it in a picture blocking.
Yes, it is blocking, and it's done. It took a long time for that linen to dry. Even though I spun it out, it still took a while to dry. So it's sitting up on the table right now, drying. Well, it is dry. I haven't pulled the pins out of it yet, but I tried it on before I blocked it, and I really liked it. So I know I'm going to like it even more when I pull it off the pins.
I finished my shawl. Well, it's not my shawl.
It's so pretty.
So there's the last colors that are in it. So I'll just pull up the colors. I just love the colors.
I want one.
Anyway, it's not exactly finished because I still do have to weave in the ends, but there's a whole thing I should have been weaving in ends, and that's not what I did. I knit DK weight socks instead.
And you cast on a sweater.
And I cast on a sweater. I'll show you that. That's what I'm working on now. I am in love with this sweater. This is the most fun I've had knitting since last week.
I told you, I kept telling you all along, you would love that sweater. Isn't that the most fun yoke?
It is. It is. And that's my hand spun. And to be honest, I would not have ever picked this color, like this color of fiber. It's kind of like a goldy greeny. It's pretty, but it's not what I would have picked.
That color fiber. That would have been.
Rachel, my daughter-in-law, got it for me, and I absolutely love it. Like, you can't even, like, it doesn't do it justice on the screen. I don't know if you.
What color exactly is the main color? It looks like it has a touch of green to it, or no? Is it just my monitor?
That's just the this yarn kind of making it look like that, because it is when I'm knitting with it, and then I look at the ball like just by itself. It's kind of like this yarn just gives it that, I don't know, must pick up whatever that tone or whatever it is.
We'll have to wear them out somewhere together one day because they're similar.
I know.
Because
they
mine
are.
is that mint green with the chocolate brown, and yours, it's picking up a bit of a green tone. So we'll have to we'll have to wear them out somewhere.
If anybody thinks they want to do this, you should make this sweater. Like, I will definitely make this sweater again, because that yoke was just so much fun to knit, because it's got cables all in between the pattern.
Yes.
And I tried a new technique with it.
Yes, you did.
So what I did was it's called ladder back jacquard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll show you here. So it's where I put my breaks in where the cables are, but it creates a whole layer of fabric that's independent of, like, it's like when you do double knitting. So the fabric is independent of the body of the sweater, but it gives you a chance to catch the yarn so that you're not carrying the yarn for a long period. I actually thought it was going to be hard, and the technique is so easy. It's like sometimes we talk ourselves into thinking something's hard without even trying it.
Well, yeah, it's just sometimes all you need is that nudge to pick something up to get it started, right?
It's right. It's like, I just don't want to think about having to do something new. I just want to knit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But I will definitely use this again. Okay, Deborah, sorry. The name, this is the Miserina by Caitlin Hunter. So, and I haven't decided whether to do long sleeves or short sleeves. I'm thinking long or 3/4. I don't know. How long are your sleeves, Kelly?
I did the short sleeves, but
do they come to about like there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, they're not short. They're not short like the Soldatna.
Okay.
That's the pattern name.
Yes,
there.
Miserina. Yep.
So no, they're not short like the Soldatna. I would say they're even longer than this t-shirt. Yeah, they come down quite a ways. Okay, I really like it.
Like it's just got a little bit of everything in it, right? Because first of all, the start, like I really like this neckband.
Yes.
It's like a couple of rows of stocking stitch before you do the rib.
And that repeats on the sleeve edge as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you get a little bit of lace, and it's really super easy lace. And then you've got the color work and you've got the cables. And then when you get down into the body, you've got, you can either do this texture stitch, which is really simple, or there's also an option for like a lacy. So anyway, yeah, I'm thinking 3/4 sleeves, that I might like 3/4 sleeves, because a lot of times in the winter when I've got a long sleeve sweater, I'm kind of pushing that anyway. I was thinking actually 3/4, but a little bit balloony, like not super balloony, but just a little bit. That's what I'm thinking, but we'll see. Who knows?
Okay. It's pretty though. I really like your colors.
Thanks. I have to thank Rachel because she got me that fleece to. So, but you know, like you just never know until you try other colors.
That's right.
So
you just have to, well, the thing is, I mean, you know what you really like for colors, but in truth, I mean, how many sweaters do you have?
I don't know.
And you know what else you have to do? You promised it in the last podcast.
I know. I was thinking of that. Put all my
Shifty put on all the Shifty things and get a photo.
Yeah. I thought I'd do. I'll get Ross to do a little video where I'm putting them all on.
Okay. Be good.
Anyway. Emily says knitting just builds one little technique on top of the last. Always best to jump in and try it. I agree. There's so many things that you can learn. Like there's even there's so many more things coming out all the time. Like if we look back, like when our kids were little and you were knitting, did you ever hear of brioche?
No.
So there's always new things coming out. So Mary wants to know, do we need to guess how many sweaters Noelle has? No, let's not go there. So
that's also a reason why, you know, sometimes it's popular at the beginning of a year where somebody chooses a make 9 and they have a specific goal. I don't do that because
I don't do that.
What I'm up for in January, by the time even 2 or 3 months roll around, something new has come out, and then there would be no spot in my make 9 for it, right?
That's right.
So, Sarah was wondering if there was a sweater wall.
Nope, there's a whole sweater built-in cupboards.
Well, that's something too. How does everybody store their sweaters? Because I'm starting to accumulate, and I have built-in shelving in my closet, but I'm sort of reaching the end of that useful life. So I'm just wondering, what does everybody else do for their sweaters?
I kind of just fold mine up loosely. I did go through a stage where I rolled them, but then I couldn't tell which sweater was which. So I was like pulling all of them out to get the one I wanted. So I don't do that anymore, but we have one wall upstairs, not in our bedroom, it's in the hallway, and it's all built-in cupboards, and it's quite a substantial wall. So a lot of mine are in there, and I need to go back and do it again, but I did kind of have them at one point arranged so I had lighter ones and then long
seasonally, right?
Yeah, but that's that needs to be done again. So, and I do put, Mary says yes, I do put lavender sachets in with them. And then every so often I refresh the lavender with some lavender essential oil. Like I've got the little tea bag thingies that have the lavender in it. And then I just refresh it with some lavender oil. So that's what I do. Emily says she needs a tour of the built-in cupboards. I'd have to tidy them up before we could ever do that. and Kim says she has a cedar chest full of drawers. That's one thing about, like, our house is an older house. It was built in, well, it's not that old, but it was built in 1950. and our closets are all cedar lined, which you don't
Oh, wow.
see anymore. But we don't.
No.
But I don't have my sweaters in there.
No.
That's where I should have them.
Yeah,
that's
you
where
should.
I have my yarn stash. That is where I have my yarn stash.
Is it?
Because in the one spare bedroom, which is huge, Ross took all the doors off the cupboards, and it's a great big cedar lined closet, and that's where all my yarn stash is. I call it my yarn grotto. So anyway, I was going to go back here. Kathy had said that I see the new sweater pattern, Fen. Yes, I already bought it.
Yes. Yeah, that one moved to our favorites quickly.
Yep. So I was thinking, I was trying to figure out what I had that I could start it, and I thought, no, I have to finish that. I have to finish. But all I want to do is cast on.
Yeah.
So,
okay, here's a comment. Kim bought some Linen Looks sweater boxes from the Container Store.
Okay.
They have a clear front and hinged doors for easy access. So that might be a great idea. Mm-hmm. It's from the Container Store. And
yeah, and I probably should, but I don't put mine away in the winter. Like so far, I haven't had a problem.
No.
So,
but do we even have moths here? Like, do we? I don't know.
You can get them, but
you can get them, but
like what we see as moths outside are not the moths that eat your clothes.
No, but
clothes moths.
Like I've heard of people that, moths get into their stash and go crazy, but I think that's not really it's like not really here in Southern Ontario, I think, right? Am I right or wrong about that?
I don't know, but I'm not taking any chances.
No. My yarn is all in plastic tote boxes too.
Mine's all in plastic and mine's all in plastic Ziploc bags inside plastic tote boxes. So
Susan folds hers in open shelving.
Well, it's supposed to be actually good if you've got them out in the open, because moths like clothes moths like dark places, which is why mine probably shouldn't be in the cupboards upstairs. But I figure I put the lavender in, but I'm not going to put, like, don't you remember our parents used to have like mothballs and stuff? And like,
yes.
I'm sorry, but you could not get rid of the smell of that.
And that's how I want to smell.
I'm sorry. That was.
Well, my closet is an open concept. So it's basically, it was a bedroom, and now it's just walls, like 3 walls of shelving and hanging rods and built-in shelves. So mine are out in the open, but I've never had an issue. Like, I would be heartbroken if I did, but I've never had anything like that floating around in a closet. So I don't know if that's something that we really have to worry about here. But Sarah says that we do have clothes moths in southwestern Ontario. She got holes in a wool dress. Okay, maybe I do need to be worried about it.
Well, and Karen says definitely moths in Chicago. Ask her how she knows.
Oh no. Oh no.
And someone else said, and that's it. If you bring in stuff from, like, Beth says that she lost a heap of yarn to moths that arrived in a canvas tote bag that she was gifted, and the eggs were in the seams of the bag.
Oh no. Oh.
So,
how would you ever find it? Like, how would you track it back to? I guess you opened up the bag. It would be.
Yeah, and Deborah says make sure you put your things away clean, and that's right, because they it's not so much the wool that they're attracted to, but they're attracted to like sweat and stuff like that that you get on the fabric, so they're less likely to eat clean sweaters than and it's hard because sometimes, I mean, if I just wear a sweater once, I'll fold it and put it back in. I don't think, I'm not going to wash it every time I wear it. But
and generally a sweater, I have something else underneath it anyway. So I wouldn't wash it every time. It's not like, a t-shirt that you wear once and you throw in the laundry, but
yeah. And I think that's it. I think you need to be vigilant. And I think that's why you see in a lot of times in yarn stores, they rearrange their yarn all the time. And that's because it gets it out, it gets it aired, and then you're not keeping those dark little places. But I think I told you this before, but we were in a yarn store. It wasn't a yarn store. It was like, like kind of one of those old style department stores with the wooden floors, and they sell a
Okay.
little bit of everything, like not a real department store, but kind of like an old country store, right?
Yep.
Okay, so this was in Nova Scotia in this, I can't even remember what little town we were in. It was more in the south part, in the Yarmouth area.
Okay.
Right? So we go into the store and they've got like a couple of shelves of yarn because everywhere out there sells Briggs and Little. So we go over and I pick up a skein and this thing flies off it. I said to Ross, I said, we need to get out of here and I need to disinfect myself.
Yep.
Because I am knitting in the car. I'm like, yeah, we're out, we're gone. But that would be the kind of wool they would like too.
Okay.
So,
Kim is talking about a trap. What's a moth? I've got your throat clearing thing tonight. Sorry. What is a moth trap? Anybody know what that is?
I do not know what a moth
Explain,
trap.
Kim. I don't know what a moth trap is. Inquiring minds need to know.
Well, I think it's a trap that catches moths. I don't know how it works.
Is it like a sticky?
Is it like a fly paper thingy?
Like a sticky thing, maybe? I don't know. Mary said she thinks that there are other kind of bugs, other bugs that eat wool as well.
I think there are too. There's those carpet beetles that eat wool carpets, and they will also chew a hole in your yarn.
Well, wouldn't you notice it missing from a carpet before they'd go to your yarn?
But you could have a piece
That
of carpet.
hole wasn't in my floor yesterday.
Well, we don't have any carpet anymore, but you could have carpet that's they ate it all.
Yeah, we used to have carpets, but then we got carpet beetles, and now I don't have carpets anymore. No,
we have hardwood now.
Yeah.
Now we'll get termites. They're sticky
goodness.
traps.
Sticky traps. Okay.
Okay. And you can order them on Amazon.
Oh, they also love starch. So don't starch anything. No worries about that, Beth. There'll be no starching going on. There'll be precious little ironing going on in this house, let alone starching.
Okay. Oh, Sandy said that Paige the Framer did a podcast on moth prevention. She worked at a museum and her information was quite detailed, including temperature and humidity control.
Oh, okay.
So
Sheila says when she receives a gift of wool, she puts it in a freezer for a week and then she takes it out for a week and then she puts it back in the freezer for another week.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess they've just been lucky.
I guess so. Like I just assumed we didn't have them here, but now everybody's making me nervous.
No, but like I said, my yarn is all in Ziploc bags inside plastic totes. So.
Oh, here's another comment too. Someone who worked for a dry cleaner said that you need to clean the woolies before storing, as food crumbs and other skin things on your woolies are what the moths are munching on. So, all right.
Okay, so you said in Norway they air their sweaters a lot, so they don't need washing, according to Skeindare. I mean, I don't wash my sweaters a lot, but they do get washed.
Well, the amount, if I put sweaters out to air them, with the amount of birds that I have in my backyard,
that's what I worry about putting them outside too.
It would be covered, or they'd be picking at it to make a nest with. So
now Donna says she has eco-tastic traps, but she hasn't caught any.
Okay.
Linda says she clearly needs a bigger freezer. Yeah, we need to have the yarn freezer.
The yarn freezer. The vault. That's what we need. We just need a yarn vault.
That cold, hard yarn.
Nancy has joined us from Texas. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Natalie.
I don't even think we're near each other in comments. Oh, there we are. I've caught up to Natalie. Hi, Natalie.
Mary says that she does plastic
drinking from Natalie's mug tonight. My lighting is terrible tonight. Is it as blown out on everybody else's screen as it is on mine? Maybe I just need to get farther back from the lights.
Oh, in Finland, they lay their sweaters on the snow.
Oh, now see, moth would not be in the snow.
No, or your freezer.
I would be worried about felting my sweater.
That's right, Barb. We all need walk-in freezers.
Yes. Yes.
For our yarn stash, our sweater stash, and our shawl stash. Yeah, we just got a new freezer recently. I could have kept that big chest freezer if I had have known that I could have stored my yarn in there.
Right? Send Ross downstairs to get the roast. No, not the
No,
meat
not that
freezer.
freezer.
Get the yarn freezer. He would catch on, I think, pretty quick.
Yeah. I think
You'd be in trouble. You would be in trouble.
Yeah.
So are you actually working on anything tonight, or are you just chatting?
I'm chatting.
Do you have something there?
That's on the ground. The wood floor.
The wood floor.
I was working on this.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to work on that.
Yeah, but I have one more row of just plain knitting. I could probably do that.
Okay.
Tracy, I agree. Combo wine and yarn freezer.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes, Luana says that they also lay their eggs in wool rugs. Oh, no. No, sorry. They also lay their wool rugs. No.
Yeah, I think she's talking about Arna and Carlos now, not the moths anymore.
Okay, I got it. I got to concentrate. I didn't have any wine. I do have an emergency bottle though, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case Kelly's internet comes out and I have to carry this myself.
It's a heavy load, this show. It's a heavy load.
So anyway, Susan says that I've already knit enough this week. Okay, I don't have to knit. I could just.
Yeah, you definitely have. You have for sure.
Anyway, at least then I can keep up with the comments here. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, so anybody else find any good patterns? I have to stop looking, I really have to stop looking because there's so many things I want to knit that I can't even imagine and make 9 because there's 9 projects going through my head before I finish the one thing that I'm working on and I never know what the next
let's
thing
be
is
honest. You have 9 projects in your head in the morning when you wake up.
Probably. So I cannot imagine. And then a new one comes out and it's like, I want to start that.
Noelle's a pretty obsessive person. I picture her. She wakes up, blinks, and thinks, I must knit. I gotta go. She's out of the bed, feet hit the floor. She's running for her chair.
No, I put the coffee on and I think, do I have time to knit before the coffee's brewed? Normally I have the spinning wheel set up. So if it takes a minute, I can spin for a minute while I'm waiting for the coffee.
Yes.
So.
Oh, Marianne says those of us going through menopause need a house freezer and then just wear the sweaters.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Marianne, it does not get any better.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Mine are mostly gone.
Well, mine are not.
Really?
Really?
I wake up warm every morning, though. That's the thing. When I wake up, I'm just like, oh, it's warm in here. I'm really warm. And I've already kicked off most of the blankets through the night anyway. But I'm like, now I'm too warm. I'm just too warm. But then it kind of settles.
I do the whole blanket thing all night long. On, off,
off. I know. And then I have the ceiling fan overhead. So it's like I kick it off because I'm warm. And then, oh, now it's too breezy. Pull the sheet back on and kick it off again. Oh, Sarah says Ravelry is down. What?
I actually had trouble with it today, on and off. Like it would shut down. So
really, okay.
But Nancy agrees that the make 9 either is like she can't do it. I can't do it. So Mary says she's knitting the antler toque. That's a cute toque. I made baby ones when the girls were really little.
I want to cast on some fingerless mittens. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready. I said this. I'm ready for fall. And I keep getting, people are sending me little nasty memes about putting away my pumpkin spice latte self. And
I didn't send you anything.
Somebody said, no, not you. I got another one today. And somebody said, all you pumpkin spice latte people, just shut the heck up. It's not September 22nd and I'm still here for the margaritas. But that
was what I told you last week.
Oh, was it? Somebody else sent me.
I told you that last week.
Okay, that must be why it looked familiar because I got it sent to me again today, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm not that bad. I don't even. Okay, here's the thing: I don't even drink pumpkin spice anything, if I'm being completely honest. But I just get the fall feels. Fall feels.
Yes.
Yes, Kim. Andrea Mowry is releasing a new cardigan. It's called the Douglas Cardi. It has wider stripes. It looks like it's a dropped shoulder. So I almost want to say it's kind of that like vintage cardigan, something more that we would have been knitting in the early 90s, like with a sort of a square shape and then the drop sleeves, and it just has a simple band. So I haven't seen, she's only like maybe allowed a few little sneaky peeks. So nothing that we can really see yet. Tracy's got her hand up. I hope that's for the pumpkin spice latte.
We have a whole lot of people here agreeing with me that the hot flashes are still there.
Oh, no. Tracy is the unicorn.
You know.
She said that she's still always cold, hoping it never happens. Well, I used to think that way too. No, I used to think, how bad can a hot flash be? And I was one of those always cold people. And I used to thought, so what? It's just like you're a little warm for a little bit. Not. What's the big deal? And then I started getting them. And like literally, it is like your insides are about to combust. Ladies, if you've not had them yet, they're awful. I at least didn't get the sweats, but that I'm actually going to go up in flames. I sit here much longer.
There was that one commercial that used to be on, and the woman was having a hot flash, and it's in the middle of winter, and she goes outside and she rips the cover off the air conditioner. That's exactly what it feels like, but you can't imagine that until you've actually gone through it.
No, I couldn't imagine how hot you could feel. It is, I don't know. It's just an awful feeling.
They're not as bad now as they were, but they're still there. So.
Okay, so Jose reports that she was just on Ravelry without any problems. So we're okay. The world hasn't ended. The apocalypse hasn't happened. Ravelry is intact. So.
Oh, Nicole has fingerless mitts on right now.
She's wearing them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's a pattern started. Sandy is going to start the Millie Margaret shawl for our shawl cowl. Painted bricks hat, DK socks, and she can't wait for Andrea's new cardigan. You are ambitious, Sandy. Ambitious. That's a lot of knitted things. But doesn't it sound cozy? Noelle, doesn't that sound cozy?
No.
Yes.
No, I still want another margarita.
No, I'm ready for fall.
I'm ready for some nice warm days that are not as humid as what it was.
Okay. After that disgusting weekend we just went through with that heat, I am ready for it. Julia said she was cold all the time, and then a hot wave would come, and her husband would watch her get red and sweaty just sitting beside.
Yeah, that's right. That's okay. Beth says hot flashes save a fortune on heating. I know, we keep our house a lot cooler now than we did before I started going.
Oh, I can't because my husband is cold all the time. We fight about this constantly. And as soon as the temperature drops a degree, he's like, oh, we can shut the air off now, right? And I'm like, no, we can't.
Today's the first day that I shut my air off.
Yeah, the air is off today, rest assured. Yeah. It went off today probably.
Yep. Okay, Dawn's 73 and she's still getting hot flashes.
Oh, but not all the time, right, Dawn? Like just every so often. I don't get them every day, but
I don't get them all the time, but they're still definitely not gone. So
and
Josie's gonna have a Bellini while I have my margarita.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or you know what else would be good? Mimosa. I can always get behind a mimosa.
We have those at Christmas.
We have them all day on Christmas. I did a bunch of sewing this past weekend. I made some blankets. I made some swaddle cloths. And then last night I went and I bought fabric. I'm going to start making some little sleepers.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, what are you making those out of? Like a
cotton
jersey
knit. Jersey? Yes. Yeah. And I have a really cute pattern from that Debbie suggested to me. Oh, see, I'm lost. Where did I?
That's why I put mine down.
Oh no, I need another blue row. That Debbie suggested, and the name just took off. It's a pattern company that makes patterns for adults and children. I can remember the second word is twig. Twigs.
Oh, twig and horn?
No. Oh my goodness. I'm terrible. Anyway, it's a super cute pattern company, and I have it queued up and ready to go. And they make a little sleeper, and it sort of kind of crosses over and just does a little tie thing on the side. They call it an envelope sleeper, and it has options. You can make long sleeves, short legs, long legs. So obviously I'll be making some sleeves with legs because of the time of year, but yeah.
So
Emily wants to know what age do hot flashes start.
I think it depends. If you go back, I think Tracy said she was having them when she was 40. So well, I think it just depends.
I also think there's something to be said for, yes, we are a knitting podcast. Here we talk about menopause, but I think if you start...
Well, sometimes you have to put your knitting down if you get too hot, though it does relate.
Yeah. But no, if you start having, if you start going through cycles earlier in life or later in life, so I think that I've heard that means you'll either start menopause early or late, depending on how young you were when you started getting your period. But I don't know if that's a scientific thing or if it's just an urban myth.
If you were younger, it goes longer?
No, if you were younger, you would go into menopause earlier than somebody who started later. You know, I guess it can happen anywhere from 11 to 13. So I guess, if you started at 11, then chances are you would go, this is what I've heard, you'll go through menopause a little sooner. I'm not sure about that. For me, it was 52, Emily. So
I know it wasn't in my 40s. I think it was 50, but a lot of people here are saying 40. So I think it just depends on.
But the hot flashes didn't start until 2 years after I was through menopause. So I didn't start with those until I was 54.
I actually can't even remember not having hot flashes.
Really? And I just thought I
know it was in my 50s, but I honestly can't remember. I can't remember not having them now. So.
Well, I just thought to myself, why is everybody complaining? This is a breeze. I just, one day I had a cycle and then the next month I didn't, and I never had one again. And it just carried on like that for 2 years. And I thought, this is easy peasy. How can anybody complain about this? And then the hot flashes hit, and they started innocuously enough. They were, I might get one every few days, but then at the peak of them, I was getting several a day, and literally, like I said, it just felt like I was going to go up in flames. So I was glad to have that pretty much behind me now.
Well, the hot flashes actually didn't bother me as much as the night sweats, and I don't really get the night sweats anymore. But those are
and I never had those
where you could actually wake up, and it's like, if it wasn't for the fact I could barely go back to sleep in the same bed because the sheets were soaked. But
really?
Like, Ross, get out of bed. And I don't care if you have those blankets on top of you. But I'd have to get up, change my nightgown, and even the nightgowns that are supposedly meant for that were still.
Oh.
So, but I don't get that anymore. So that's at least good. So.
It does sound like a lot of people start quite early. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Valerie. We missed you last week.
Valerie.
No, Donna, it's not tiny twigs. It's not. What the heck? It starts with B. It starts with a B. I had it pulled up. It'll come to me as
bark and twigs.
No.
Oh, Mary, wine triggers them, then I'm never going to get rid of them.
Oh, Beth thinks using contraceptives can affect that too. Not sure. Mary gets triggered when she eats dairy. That brings on hot flashes for her. I never thought about that, Mary, about if there's anything else that triggers them. Because as I said, I'm for the most part, I'm through them. I don't even call them hot flashes anymore. I call them warm flashes because I don't get that. I don't feel like I'm going to go up in flames anymore. I just all of a sudden will ooh, I'm warm. And then it passes. So
anyway, bye, Janie. Janie's got to go put kids to bed. So Beth says probably no twigs at all. Are you sure the name's Twig?
Yes. Well, now I'm not. Oh, goodness, you guys. I'll look it up.
Oh, this is scary. Well, not for me. I'm way past that. But the said her mom started going through menopause at 38, 39, and then got pregnant at 39.
Oh my gosh. Well, that would bring that to a screeching halt, wouldn't it? That's crazy. How could you be? How can your body be doing two things at the same time?
Because it just wants to hold on just a little longer.
Oh, you got me so kerfuffled. I can't even find Instagram on.
Anyway, but you know what? There's so many. Well, look at the age that kids, younger people are having babies at now. It's not the same ages that we had our babies at.
Like, oh, look at that. I just opened Instagram and look what came up. It's Mary and her lovely sweater. That was my first thing I saw, Mary. It's beautiful.
Anyways, Julia says where she's glad about the discussion that her mother never talked about menopause and she passed away before she started. So it's nice to have the conversation. I've shared with my 24-year-old daughter. Julia, I'm still waiting for my mom to tell me the facts of life.
You think you might have figured that out for yourself after 5 children?
Maybe after the 5th. I remember I asked her one time and she said, I'll tell you later. I'm still waiting.
Oh. Okay.
Beth said too that her mom did that too. She started menopause and 8 months later had a baby boy.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, well, it is because that would be easy to see. You might think that you're through it. You might not have a cycle for a couple of months and then have a cycle. Well,
right.
You know,
it's brindle and twig.
Oh, brindle. Okay.
Brindle and twig. Yes. So it was twig. I was right. That's the name. Did I spell it right? I did. Brindle and twig. So they have quite a few sewing patterns, but anyway. Well, you know, most of us are women in here. In fact, I think probably all of us are women in here.
Well, there's no man commenting on anything right at the moment.
No, if there is a man right now, he's going, oh, I thought I signed on for the knitting. But okay, so with my daughter being pregnant now, I find like we just talk about so much. And I try to remember what things were like when I was pregnant for her. And that was, 31 years ago. So it's a bit of a stretch sometime to remember that far back. But I think I don't remember having those conversations with my mom, not because my mom was unwilling to talk about it. I think maybe I didn't think to ask those types of things. And the conversations were a little bit more closed. But I find that with my daughter, we talk about a lot of things and we talk openly about that. And I don't.
But I do think that's partly generational. Like it was, I don't know. I think that we talked with our kids about a lot more things than were ever talked about in my family. And I mean, It makes more sense. I mean, not that you shouldn't know a lot of stuff, but it makes more sense to actually talk about it when you are going through it, because then it's a lot easier to understand. And like if someone had have told you about menopause, it's not the same as discussing it when you're actually going through it.
Yeah.
Right. Because honestly, you can't really understand what a hot flash feels like until you've had one.
No, I know. That's what I said. I used to think like, why do my friends complain so much about it when they were going through it? It's just, you get warm, but no, I get it.
So
this is a thing, because Kim mentions the same thing. She went to an all-girls high school and there were quite a few moms there having change of life babies. I honestly didn't even know that was a possibility. And Amanda said that her mom had been trying to get pregnant since they were 18 and she was not able to get pregnant until she started going through menopause.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Our bodies are amazing. That's all I have to say. It's just amazing.
And that's right, Kim. That discussion about periods that I got was pretty much just clinical.
Or what about the poor girls who didn't have these conversations, and that when that happened, it was terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I think they're important conversations, and I don't know what the right age is. Janie left to go and tend to her daughters. I know she's got young teen daughters, so be interested to get somebody's point of view. I talked about it pretty early with my daughter because I was just nervous that it might happen to her at school, and that would be so embarrassing for a young girl, or scary. So I made sure that we talked about that at a pretty young age, just so that she was ready. And I don't know. It was comfortable. We've always been, we had our family of four, a boy and a girl. So our daughter, and then our son is 7 years younger. We, in the house that for the formative years of our children, we had only one bathroom. And we jokingly called that the official O'Connor meeting room, because every important life discussion was solved in that bathroom. It was so ridiculous. You could never be in there alone. Like if somebody just went in, nobody was allowed to lock the door, and somebody else had to come in and brush teeth. And they're like, "Oh, I'm not looking. I'm just brushing teeth." And I would go in at night to try to escape the children and have a nice bath at night. And somebody's at the door, "Mom, I really got to go. Can I come in?" Go. Like it was just, we were never allowed. So we should have put a sign on it, the O'Connor meeting room. But honestly, every major discussion that I remember, and the kids would tell you that too, that's exactly where it happened.
Yeah.
We were a pretty open family though.
Well, you want them to be able to ask, like you want your kids to be able to ask whatever questions that they and feel like they're going to get an honest answer.
Yeah. Cape 6 is cracking up laughing at the two of us. She's enjoying this. Well, you know what? We say this every week. This is how conversation would happen. We don't guarantee that it's all going to be about knitting. And if you want only knitting, well, that would be our formal podcast, because we're all about the knitting or all about the multi-crafting there. But this is where life happens, in the knit chat, in the knit space, right? So we can knit, we can chat, and some weeks are hysterical. Other weeks we've had some sad topics, and I guess we're open for all conversation, just as long as you don't do anything that gets us. Don't bring up a conversation that's going to get us banned from YouTube. We wouldn't like that. Everything else is on the table. Darcy said she didn't have a family member to discuss, as her mother and grandmother had early hysterectomies. So, well, I guess, yeah. So you were you would be the person to kind of lead your family through that then, Darcy, wouldn't you?
Tracy's talking about Sue Johansson. So she must have tutorials. How did you call it a tutorial? Informative video. How about informative video?
There. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah says her house is like that too. She said the bathroom is pretty open and active, and she's not sure if that's weird, but the boys know a lot about life stuff now. I don't think it's weird. I think it's just, it's that level of comfort you have with your kids. Yeah. And I think, I don't know, like we're still sort of like that. Like, I mean, I don't know how much I should say that. So like as adults, when my kids come to visit, we all parade up to our bathroom to have a conversation, but it's just like, still, if my daughter even is here visiting or I'm there, like we have no issues with going into the bathroom with one another to, do hair while somebody else is in the shower. It's just, I don't know. It's, I like that level of comfort. That's us. Doesn't mean it's for everybody.
So this Sue must have been someone that.
I think she was the sex ed teacher.
Okay.
At school.
But I think it was videos, not.
Oh, Tracy says
because she was with a lot of different, because you can Google her.
Okay. I think Tracy's drinking. Now she says we can goggle her, and I think she means Google. I'm going to goggle you, Tracy. Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
Ewa remembers her. Yeah.
We have some pretty memorable wedding stories because of some of the things that the kids ask when they're younger.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Any that you can share?
Well, when one of them was about, he must have been about 6 or 7, and he had just found out about the facts of life. And he just looked at me and he went, You and Dad did that 5 times?
Well, no, we practiced a few times first.
Well, I didn't answer right away, and disgustedly, he just goes, more?
Oh, goodness.
Anyway, so yeah, they do give you a lot of ammo to throw back at them on their wedding days.
Here's a comment. This is funny. I'm sorry, I don't know your name either. Scrabble Hounds. You'll have to tell us a name. But anyway, her husband says that it's strange when women in a group have to use the bathroom and then they ask other women to go. Well, okay. Does your husband not know that we're not going to use the bathroom? Like when we were younger and you would ask a girlfriend to go, you weren't going to the bathroom. You were going to talk to her about the dates you were with. Like, come on, guys. We aren't in there using the bathroom. We're doing other things. There's no bathroom in there.
Amanda says that she feels like boys should learn about periods too. One of her guy friends who was in his 30s legitimately thought women had their periods on the full moon.
That would be pretty special and amazing.
Anyways.
But it's true. Like if you have, I did always feel sorry. Like if I had a friend who he said he had only sisters, you know, or like there were no other men in the house other than just dad, because, you know, women, as we sort of pack together and we will cycle together too. So like friends will end up on the same cycle, or women living in the same house will end up on the same cycle. And I always thought, gosh, if you were the only guy in the house, or if you were a dad and you had only daughters, woo, that would be craziness. That would be craziness.
Yeah. Well, see, we were short on the women in this house. It was mostly all guys, but they knew about everything. Like,
yeah,
they pretty much knew what time of the month it was by what type of a mood I was in. So.
I'm definitely checking this person out. Everybody is in here talking about her. She had a TV show. She was on a radio show.
Oh, Canada's version of Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth. Okay. Well, that would be interesting.
Oh, and Tracy said she had an office at her high school.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't even have
a lot of other people.
We didn't even have a sex ed class at our school.
Catholic grade school? Are you kidding?
Oh, heck no. Okay, is there any way that we can redeem ourselves and pull this conversation back to knitting?
Back to knitting. Okay, we kind of got.
As fun as this is to chat about, seriously, if somebody were to tune in and watch this and they're like, "What am I?" Yeah, but we could chat. I could chat about this stuff all night too. This is fun. Did you get any yarn this week?
I didn't.
I didn't either.
I did not.
I have behaved.
I did forget to show last week, though. I did get. I can't find it. Oh, wait, here it is. I did get this.
Oh, yes.
But I didn't show it last week.
Yes.
So I got this book, Scandinavian Sweaters, and like it is by Kristen Wiola Odegaard. And like the sweaters are just gorgeous. So anyway, yeah. So there's like about 1 million. Like, look at this one.
That is stunning.
So, and there's some. Look at the kids one.
Oh, I like that one. I would wear that one. I would wear that one.
Well, it comes in an adult size too, so you could have like a matching like grandmother granddaughter sweater.
Okay.
So.
All right, we do have some knitters back into the conversation now.
Sarah
wants to know when the shawl cow starts. It starts tomorrow. Sarah.
Actually, at midnight tonight.
At midnight tonight, yes.
I want to stay up.
Yes. In fact, we're so close to it. If you cast it on right now, but you didn't enter it until midnight, we'd be okay with that too. Yeah. So does anybody have some plans on what they're making? I know we had a few mentions at the beginning of this to what they were making, but it looks like some other people have joined in now. And are either of us doing the Stephen West? I'm not. I'm not.
Stephen West, most of Stephen West shawls are more shawl than I'm comfortable with for wearing.
Well, they're very large for you. Yes.
Yeah. And
I
although that new one of his new ones dust something.
mm-hmm.
And it's just a one color shawl, but it's all sorts of different textures in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of like that one. And it's not that I don't like his shawls. I just can't see myself wearing them.
Yes.
So,
A
but
lot of his shawls are that half circle shape or a crescent shape. I think anyway. Or I've even seen something that's like even a little bit more circular, and that's a shawl shape that I have difficulty with. But I'm always incredibly intrigued by how his mind develops these patterns, because when I'm watching people do them and you showing them like stage by stage, they are absolutely knitted works of art. Like I would like to make one and maybe just hang it on the wall of my studio down here, or Bernice could wear it always.
Julia makes a lot of them and they're gorgeous.
And she looks fantastic in them too.
I know. So
yeah. Elizabeth is going to make the Opus shawl. Oh, Elizabeth, I can't wait to see that one. I love the way that
new one by Max.
Yes. Yes.
Barb's finished her Vertices Unite.
Okay. And Deborah is making the Moonweight cowl by Andrea Mowry. That's okay. I think I know which one that is. If it is, it's beautiful. Free Your Fade with Koigu pencil set. That will be gorgeous.
Jacqueline's doing the Rosa shawl. I'm not sure what one that is either.
I don't know.
Boho chic mosaic shawl.
Boho fiber chic. Is that the designer, Kim? Because the word boho, you had me at boho. I like that.
Marianne's going to do the Fleur de Lis by Robbie Lachlan.
Okay.
Oh, the one that Jacqueline's talking about is an Isabel Kramer one. So that's the Rosa shawl by Isabel Kramer.
I'll have to look that one up. I'm not familiar with that one.
I still think I'm going to do the Pressed Flowers one by Amy Christophers. I think it's by Amy Christophers.
I think so. I can picture the pattern.
I also want to do the Humblebee shawl by Fiber Tales.
Okay, I'm going to finish my night shift shawl first. And I still don't know the name of the one that I'm casting on. I know what it looks like. It's the one that we saw at VKL. And I think I want to make that. And it's a crochet pattern. Okay. And I haven't crocheted in a very, very long time. So I'm sort of looking forward to doing something that's a little bit different than knitting. Better Together by Brenda Brayfield is what Nicole's working on. And
Kim said the shawl she was talking about is by Lynn May Ping. I'm not sure.
Or is that the Pressed Flowers shawl?
No, I'm pretty sure it's. Pretty sure it's. Barb's going to cast on a Shifty shawl.
Okay. Sarah's going to pull yarn tonight and wind it up tomorrow. So we need to.
There is a thread in Ravelry already for.
Do we have an Instagram one yet?
No.
Okay, let's get one going.
KNP Fall for Shawl. No one can have that. Come on, can't be out there already.
What do you want it to be?
Hashtag menopause shawl.
KNP Fall for Shawl.
Yep.
Fall for Shawls. How does it look? Okay. There. Okay. That's KNP Fall for Shawls. That's our new that's our Instagram hashtag.
Yeah. And there's a Ravelry chat thread. So put all your ideas and your patterns, and so we can all see what everybody's making.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many nice shawls out there. Like the new pattern that we were talking about, the sweater pattern, the Fene. I don't know if it's Fene or Fen. It's Feene or F.
No, I think it's Fenne. So that should be Fen.
Okay. And it's Natasha Hornsby, but she has some absolutely gorgeous shawls. She is Moonstruck Knits. And a lot of her shawls are mosaic,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really pretty. So
Okay.
there's so many that I'd love to do, but I already have 90 something. So, anyway,
I just like them. I just like them.
and I like knitting them.
Yes.
So,
and if you ever grow tired of one, you can always give one away.
that's right.
Somebody's always looking for a shawl. And they don't get, they don't wear out, right? Like they don't get wear.
No. So, okay. Well,
is Natalie still on here? I don't know if she's still here. If she is, I just want to say, Natalie, I can't believe I ever doubted you that I was going to like a 9-inch circular needle. I don't know how I would. I don't know. I always used 2-inch or two 16-inch circulars, 2-inch needles. Yeah, that's a tight sock. That's a grandbaby sock. And I tried this 9-inch needle a couple of times, and I wasn't having it. And Natalie was out with us one morning, and she said, no, you have to do a whole sock. And by the end of the sock, you can cast your vote on it. Natalie, I am hooked. And I don't know why I didn't like it at first. I can't imagine not doing it this way now.
But it's still not my favorite.
Oh, it's my favorite.
But I would
down.
not do color work or sleeves any other way now.
I just don't know why I didn't like it, because I love it now. I totally love it. So thank you, Natalie, if I haven't said it before. Thank you, friend. Hooked me on something new. Okay. We are at an hour and 17 minutes of mostly non-knitting chatter. But I had a good time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
somebody said, Amanda wants to know if we use #menopause shawl. Yes, you can use whatever you like, Amanda. We'll find it. Just make sure you tag us so we can see it in case we don't. And I never used to follow the hashtags. I didn't think about that. I would just type them in when I wanted to see them. And now I just follow the hashtags, and they keep popping up. You get to see a lot more.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. But no, Mary Jane, I do not find that my hands cramp with the 9-inch. And yeah, I love it. I'm not going back.
You still throw, right?
Yes, I do.
See, I don't throw with the 9-inch. I do continental.
No, I throw. And I start right from the very beginning. I do my cast on, I do my ribbing, I will do lace stitch, I will do color work. Anything that I can do on other needles, I can do on these little 9-inch needles. No hesitation whatsoever. And I like having them with me because they seem easier. They're quieter. There's no clicking. There's nothing. The only thing I do find is that I have to keep the little bumpers
on them,
because sometimes the little marshmallows. Tonight, when I went upstairs, sitting up on the dresser was a brand new pair of earplugs that my husband brought home. And they looked exactly like one of these, not cut in half. So I scooped them and I cut them in half. And now I'm going to have an extra set of little bumpers. But
there you go.
There you go. So, okay. We digress.
Okay. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was a good night.
It was a good night. It was a good night. Highlight of my week. I love getting together with everybody. And yeah.
I think I knit like 2 stitches.
I knit, I don't know, maybe I knit 10 rows, maybe.
Oh, that's good. That's
not
good.
very much, but that's good. Anyway, I'm happy with that. So that is that. We'll be back next week. I have to think ahead. The last time I said we'll be back next week, I failed to realize that was the day of my son's wedding.
Well, next week is the Tuesday after Labor Day.
Next week is the Tuesday after Labor Day. So we'll have a long weekend.
This is like the end of August already.
Yes. Yes, it is. But anyway, okay. Take care, everybody. And
okay. Yep. Happy knitting.
If you hung around to the end of this, we hope to see you next week. We should have said that
come
too.
Back, come back.
Come back. Please come back.
We'll talk about
it. We promise. Oh.
So, anyway.
All right. Have a
Yeah,
great
bye,
night,
everybody.
everybody.